I bought my land years ago, a sprawling stretch just outside the city. Quiet, peaceful, surrounded by trees and a wide open view of the mountains. It was the kind of place I'd always dreamed of retiring on. When I purchased it, I made sure every deed, boundary, and easement was airtight. Nobody was ever going to take this land from me. Or so I thought. One summer, while I was overseas on business, I got a call from my neighbor. You might want to come back. Someone's building on your property." I thought he was joking, but when I returned, I nearly choked on the site. A massive mansion, half-finished with construction crews hammering away, was sitting right in the middle of my acreage. Not just a small shed or fence. A mansion. Marching over, I demanded to know what was going on. That's when I met her, HOA President Karen. Expensive sunglasses, clipboard in hand, acting like she owned the place. "This is community expansion," she said smugly. "The HOA approved a new president's residence here." I stared at her. "This is my land. I own this property outright. Your HOA has no jurisdiction." Karen laughed in my face. "Well, it's on our development plan, so it's ours now. You can sell it to us, or we'll just file for adverse possession." That was the moment I knew I was dealing with someone either incredibly arrogant or incredibly stupid. Maybe both. For weeks, construction continued despite my protests. Trucks rolled in, workers poured concrete, walls went up. Every time I tried to halt them, Karen waved her clipboard, claiming she had permits. But the county clerk confirmed what I already knew. She had nothing. Not a single legal document supported her. She was building a mansion on stolen land. So I let her keep building. I hired surveyors, lawyers, and a private investigator. Every nail hammered into her mansion was more evidence for my case. Every dollar she spent went into a home she didn't own. By the time the marble countertops and chandeliers were installed, I had a mountain of documentation stacked high. Then came the day of reckoning. In court, my attorney laid out the property deed, boundary maps, drone photos, and signed statements from county officials. Karen tried to argue HOA expansion rights, but the judge nearly laughed her out of the room. "The HOA cannot build on land it does not own," he said bluntly. Then my lawyer delivered the final blow. "Your Honor, not only did they trespass, but they invested over $2 million in improvements on my client's land. By law, those improvements belong to him." The courtroom went silent. Karen's smug expression cracked for the first time. She realized too late that she had built a mansion for me. The judge ruled in my favor. The deed was reaffirmed, the HOA fined for trespassing, and Karen personally liable for damages. As the legal owner, I now had the right to keep the mansion or sell it. When I visited the property a week later, Karen stood at the gate, screaming, "You can't just take it. That's my house. I designed everything." I smiled. "Correction, you built everything. For me." Security escorted her off the land. She lost her position as HOA president, her credibility in the community, and eventually her home when the lawsuits piled up. Meanwhile, I put the mansion on the market and sold it for a staggering profit. More than enough to fund my retirement. The best part? The new buyers were a young couple who had been bullied by the HOA for years. When they moved in, they threw a block party and invited everyone except Karen. The whole neighborhood celebrated the downfall of their so-called queen. Now, whenever I walk by, people nod and grin. They know the story. Karen thought she could bully her way into stealing land, but instead, she handed me a multimillion-dollar estate. In the end, the HOA president didn't just lose her power. She built her own downfall brick by brick, nail by nail, and I didn't lift a single hammer.